Hello to everybody and welcoming you all people to listen the online classes and which are conducted by our Diamond Group of Institution. I am P. Chandrasekhar, Faculty of Zoology. I am today we will discuss the questions which are related to our reproductive system. Ours means human being, the reproductive system of human being. Now the questions are like this. Now just here, which one of the following cells found in the testis of women and secret male hormone? Just you take which one of the following cells found in the testis of women's secret male hormone? You know that the male and female reproductive systems are confined to the male and female. So on the basis of that, the human beings are the one of the example for unisexual organism. And the male primary sex organs are present in the form of testis, and while ovaries are present in the female human being. And what kind of cells are so far present in the testis? You know that the testis, each testis is simply divided into 250 testicular lobules by the presence of septal-like structure that is called tunica albuginea. And each of the testicular lobule is simply made or constituted by 1 to 3 of the seminiferous tubules itself. Each of the seminiferous tubules is internally lined with the germinal epithelium, and the germinal epithelial layer can be contains 2 of the cells like male germ mother cells. Of course, they are simply called either spermatogonia. And after that, some of the spermatogonia will act as a primary spermatogonia, the primary spermatocytes. The primary spermatocytes are undergoes mitotic and meiosis divisions to give the sperms. Like that here, the seminiferous tubules are naturally contains 2 kinds of the cells like Sertoli cells and male germinal cells or else sperm mother cells itself. In addition to that, the outside of the seminiferous tubules, naturally the Leydig cells can be present. Already we came to know that the Sertoli cells are helpful to provide the nutritive substance to the produced sperms. In addition to that, they too secrete the one of the inhibitory hormone which is called inhibin. So apart from that, just here the Leydig cells are present outside spaces of the seminiferous tubules, which are simply filled with the interstitial cells of Leydig oblique. They are simply called as the Leydig cells also. The Leydig cells are supposed to secrete the androgens. The very important hormone among the androgen is the testosterone itself. Now the question is asking that what are the cells? Which one of the cells found in the testis of women secrete the male hormone? The options are given like this. A option, Leydig cells. What I said, the Leydig cells is the true cells or correct cells which are present in the testis to secrete the androgens or testosterone. The testosterone is also called as the male sex hormone, which is always helpful to develop the male secondary sexual characters itself. And B, the Sertoli cells, what I said now, regarding epithelial cells which are present in different parts of the body. And spermatocytes are simply differentiated into 2 types also, primary spermatocytes and secondary spermatocytes itself. Now among the ABCD, the Leydig cells are correct option for this. They are present in the testis to secrete the testosterone hormone itself. Now we go for the next question. Fertilized ovum in human being is implanted on the uterus how many days after ovulation? Of course, you know that after ovulation there is a release of egg itself, or else which is also called ovum. And it not meaning that all the released ova are not going to be fertilized with the sperm itself. If the released ovum may be fertilized with the sperm, and how many days can be taken by the fertilized egg to implant it onto the wall of the uterus itself. Now just A is the 1 day, which is not at all concerned with the 1 day regarding the ovulation, after ovulation, and B is the 7 days. After 7 days, if the released ovum is fertilized with this, it is systematically undergoes divisions, mitotic divisions or else which are also called cleavages. So here after for completion of 5 cleavages, certainly the zygote can be developed into the 32 cell stage. The 32 cell stage of the embryonic development can be named as the blastocyst. The blastocyst is the only stage of the embryonic development of human being which is successfully implanted onto the endometrium of the uterus itself. So the B option is the correct option for this. 7 after ovulation, 7 days time is taken by the fertilized egg to attach onto the uterus itself, and after that C option is the 10 days and D option is the 14 days. A, C and D are not concerned with this question, only the B option is the correct option for this. After ovulation, 7 days of the time is taken by the fertilized zygote or fertilized ovum is implanted onto the uterus itself. Now the B option is the correct. Now you go for the next question. Failure of descent. Failure of descent of the testis in the scrotal sacs is called. So in most of the mammals, at the time of the birth, the testes are naturally descended into the scrotal sac. That is the normal condition. And in some of the exceptional characters also present in some of the elephants and dolphin like or prototherians. Certainly in males, the testes are simply present or embedded in the abdominal cavity or present in the abdominal cavity itself. They are not coming out from the abdominal cavity. They are not present or located out of the abdominal cavity. They are present inside of the abdominal cavity itself. But in rare cases at the time of the birth, the testes are not supposed to descend into the scrotal sac. That condition is itself, or it is technically termed as the cryptorchidism. Now the options are given like this. Here A option is vasectomy. The cutting of vasa differentia and the male reproductive system can be named as the vasectomy. It is one of the surgical method and it is one of the way to control the birth of the children itself. And after that, what I said, cryptorchidism is a perfect technical word if the testes are not descended at the time of the birth of the children itself. The B option is correct. And C option is the impotency itself. That means the males are not in a position to produce their own kind. That condition is called impotency. Impotency is not at all concerned with this. And after that, D option is the tubectomy. Tubectomy is also one more surgical method which is employed in the female reproductive tract of the female human being to control the birth rate of the children itself. Among A, B, C, D, the B option is the correct option for this question. So I am opting the B option as the correct. So now you to select the B option. Now you go for the other question. Immediately after fertilization, the mammalian egg is covered by a membrane called. Of course, you know that before fertilization, after completion of ovulation, the egg or released ovum is naturally surrounded by the membranes like vitelline membrane, zona pellucida, corona radiata, like that. And immediately after completion of fertilization, which layer is going to be covering the fertilized egg? Just here, the options are given like this. A option, chorion. Chorion is nothing but one among the extra embryonic membrane itself. Amnion, chorion, allantois and yolk sac. Here the chorion is not at all covering the fertilized ovum itself. And after that, zona pellucida. Zona pellucida is the correct option. After fertilization, immediately the fertilized egg can be covered with the specific membrane that will be called as the zona pellucida. Just beneath that, what I said, corona radiata is also present, and the vitelline membrane can be ruptured by the acrosome of the sperm in order to fertile with the egg itself. So that's why among the A, B, C, D, the zona pellucida is included under B. The B option is correct option for this question. And I am opting the B option as the correct one. Now you go for the other. The extra embryonic membranes of the mammalian embryo are derived from the what are the cells are the best site for the development of four of the extra embryonic membranes? The options are given like this. Follicle cells. Of course, we know that the follicle cells are confined to the ovary, the primary female sex organ. Certainly, by secretion of FSH hormone by pituitary gland, certainly that will be look after the production of the follicle cells in the ovary itself. The follicle cells are not responsible for the production of the extra embryonic membrane itself. The trophoblast cells. The trophoblast cells are the correct cells which are look after the secretion of the extra embryonic membranes. The trophoblast cells are so far developed during the embryonic development itself. After completion of few of the cleavages, the mass of the cells can be present. The mass of the cells are differentiated into two types of the cells like inner cell mass and trophoblast cell. The trophoblast cells are carrying the blastocyst stage of the embryonic development and fixing the blastocyst to the endometrium of the uterus itself. So that's why the trophoblast cells are the correct option for this question. And whereas fermentive cells, which are also not responsible for the production of extra and as well as extra embryonic membrane, and inner cell mass is going to be developed into the fetus and act as a embryo itself. But inner cell mass is also not really responsible for the production of extra embryonic membranes itself. Only the trophoblast cells are included under B. The B is the correct option for this. Now you select the B as the correct one. And after that you go for the next question. Extraplacental mammals. Of course you know that what I said, the mammals are categorized into three groups: prototherians, metatherians and eutherians. Of course prototherians are named as egg-laying, metatherians are pouched mammals, whereas eutherians are the only placental animals itself, placental mammals itself. But what kind of eggs are so far produced in the mammals itself? You know that? The options are given like that, means on the basis of deposited yolk or on the basis of amount of the yolk which is present in the eggs itself. If the much yolk substance or more of the yolk is deposited in the eggs of the mammals, which are simply called as the megalithical eggs itself. If the moderate amount of the yolk is deposited in the eggs, that will be called as the mesolithical eggs itself. Alithical means negligible amount of the yolk may be deposited in the eggs of the mammals, which is simply called as the alithical eggs itself. Because of there is no need of deposition of the more yolk in the eggs of the mammals itself. Because of the placenta is one of the specialized structure, and it will be look after the supply of nutritive substance during the embryonic development. After taking birth by the child from the uterus of the mother, the mammary glands of the mother will be providing the nutritive substance to the developing children itself. That's why there is no need of deposition of the more yolk in the eggs of the mammals itself. And after that, telolithical means the deposited yolk is confined to the one of the tail part of the egg, that will be called as the telolithical. Even distribution of the yolk is also called telo. And polylithical means uneven distribution of the yolk in the egg itself is called polylithical itself. Now among A, B, C, D, the B option is the correct option for this. Now opting the B option. Now you go for the other question. How many cleavages occurs for the formation of 32 blastomeres? You know that. What do you mean of blastomere? After fusion of the sperm with the egg, that will be leads into formation of the egg. Formation of the zygote. The zygote is systematically undergoes mitotic divisions or cleavages. By the result of cleavages, whatever the daughter cells are so far formed, they are simply called as the blastomeres itself. Now, how many cleavages are needed for the zygote to develop into 32 blastomeres itself? A option is given 6, not right. B option is the 5, the B option is correct, and C option is the 4, and D option is the 3. A, C, D is not at all related with the zygote when it is leads into or when it is developed into 32 blastomere stage. that will be take 5 of the cleavages itself. By the result of first division, 2 of the blastomeres are so far developed. By the result of second division, 4 of the blastomeres can be developed, and after completion of third cleavage, there is a presence of there is a development of 8 blastomeres. After completion of the 4 of the fourth cleavage, there is a presence of there is a development of 16 blastomeres. After completion of fifth cleavage, there is a development of 32 cell stage that will be called as the blastocyst stage itself. So that's why 5 cleavages are needed to convert the zygote into the 32 blastomere stage. Now, we just among the A, B, C, D, the B option is the correct option for this. Now, you select the B one. Now you go for the other question. How many ova and sperms would be produced from 100 secondary oocytes and 100 secondary spermatocytes during the gametogenesis? You know that the gametogenesis is one of the specialized process in which process there is a production of ova or egg or secondary oocyte. In just here, during the production of the or during the gametogenesis, it is permit the production of the secondary oocyte can be named as the oogenesis. By just in the same manner, during the gametogenesis, the gametogenesis is permit the development of sperms can be named as the spermatogenesis itself. You know that 100 secondary oocytes are naturally developed into the 100 secondary oocytes itself because of the secondary oocytes are not going to be developed into the more of the secondary oocyte itself. Each secondary oocyte after completion of first meiotic division, the number of chromosomes can be reduced, but one of the polar body can be secreted or one of the polar body can be produced. But the number of how many number of spermatocytes are so far present in the ovary, they are as easily developed into the secondary oocyte. There is no increasing number itself. Whereas regarding the spermatogenesis, the secondary spermatocytes, each of the secondary spermatocyte is supposed to develop into the 2 of the sperms itself. So when you calculate it like that in a systematic manner, certainly we'll get the one of the option is correct. Just here A option 100 ova, 100 sperm. Only partial answer is correct, but whereas sperms it is wrong. And B option is the 100 ova and 200 sperms can be developed. So regarding the production of ova and production of sperms are correctly given in the B option. That's why the B option is correct for this. Whereas C option 50 ova, it is not correct. As well as 100 sperms, the C option is also not correct in both the regarding of both. And D option is 200 ova and 200 sperms. Regarding the sperm production, 200 is correct, whereas the production of the ova is not equivalent to 200 itself. That's why the B option is correctly given answer, and the B option is correct for this. Now, next question. A human female reaches menopause around the age of course you know that the first time the production of the egg in the female reproductive tract, that will be called as the puberty. Just here, that is the just menarche or menarche. Menarche means in the female reproductive system of the female, after attaining into the puberty stage, certainly the female reproductive system is first time producing the egg for the first time. That stage of the production of first egg in the her life is called menarche. And whereas when the people are attains 50 years of the age, certainly there is no production of the egg. That certainly the stoppage or the natural cessation of the production of the egg in the woman when she attains the 50 years of the age itself. That will be called as the menopause itself. Okay. Now the question is asking that a woman female reaches menopause around the age of 70 years, no. B the 25 years, no. And C the 15 years, no. And only D option is correct option, that is called 50 years itself. But there is a little difference is there in between male human beings to the female. Till just when the males are reached to 70 years of the time. In old age, the old age people of males, there is a continuous production of the sperms. And unfortunately or fortunately, in case of female human being who reached about 50 years, certainly there is no production of the egg. That stage of the female can be named as the menopause. The menopause is naturally affected in the people of 50 years. So that's why we are opting the D question as the correct option. Next question is the change in the mammalian sperm, which prepares it to fertilize the ovum is correct. So that means, what do you mean of that? When the sperm is itself is preparing itself in order to fertilize with the ovum. Whatever the changes are so far taken within the nature and within the functional activity of the sperm, when it is going to be changed? When just during the sexual course or during the coitus in between male and female of human being, the male reproductive system can able to ejaculate the semen into the female genital tract. After coming of sperms into the female genital tract, it can be changes itself for sake of penetration, for sake of fusion with the ovum, can be named as the capacitation itself. Now the options are given like that. A option is metamorphosis. Metamorphosis, you know that it is one kind of the developmental process. So that's why metamorphosis is the name of the process which is not at all concerned with the changes of the sperm. And B, the capacitation. So what I said, after revealing the sperms into the female genital tract, the sperm is itself it changes to prepare itself to fuse with the egg and fertilize with the egg. The changes of the sperms in the female genital tract can be named as the capacitation itself. That's why the B option is the correct option. And after that, C option is the maturation. Before released into the female genital tract, irrespective of before the fusion in between sperm and egg, within the female genital tract or female reproductive system, the egg can be matured, and after maturation of the egg, it will be released into the abdominal cavity of the female. That will be called as the ovulation. Like that, after formation of the maturation of the sperms, that will be released into the female genital tract during the coitus. The maturation of the male and female gametes can be named as the maturation. And D is the preparation itself. The male and female reproductive systems are prepared at the time of the puberty stage. The female and male reproductive systems are preparing themselves to produce the female and male gametes is called preparation itself. Now, among the A, B, C, D, the B option is the correct option for this question. Now, after completion of 10 questions, now we go for the 11th question. The question is like this. Here, which of the following, which of the layers is best associated with the development of heart itself? Of course, you know that in diploblastic organisms, or in diploblastic organism, two of the germinal layers can be present. That is called ectoderm and endoderm. In case of triploblastic organism, three of the germinal layers can be present. One is the ectoderm, mesoderm, and innermost layer is the endoderm itself. Why they are called germinal layers? Because of during the embryonic development of triploblastic organism, each and every germinal layer is look after the production of internal systems itself. So that's why they are properly named as the germinal layers itself. Okay. Now the question is asking that which of the layers is best associated with the development of heart. Now options are given this: A, ectoderm, B, the endoderm, and C, the mesoderm, and D, all of these. Ectoderm is not related, not responsible for the production of heart, but other than heart, some of the internal systems can be developed by ectoderm. Like that, endoderm is also look after the production of other internal system apart from the heart. And C is the mesoderm, which is held responsible for the production of the heart part itself. That's why the C option is correct option for this question. Now I am opting the C option as the correct option itself. Now after that you go for the other question. 12th question, in the male human being, sperms contains autosomes, and of course you know that every somatic cell of the male or female human being is naturally contains half of the autosomes and half of the allosome. Particularly the sperm of the male reproductive system or males naturally contains 22 autosomes that will be indicated in the form of A. And of course allosomes are indicated directly in the form of X and Y itself. Now each of the sperm is naturally carry the 22 autosomes and either of the X or Y chromosome. Because of X and Y, two different allosomes are present. So for sake of that, or else by the presence of two different allosomes like X and Y, the male human beings are simply named as the heterogametic individuals or heterogametic organism, because of the males are the only human being which can able to produce the two kinds of the sperms itself. One type of the 50% of the sperms will be carrying the 22 autosomes and one of the X chromosome, and remaining 50% of the sperms can be carry the 22 autosomes and Y chromosome itself. Now the options are given like this. Here only one Y chromosome. Of course 50%, just the 50% of sperms will be contains 22 autosomes and one of the Y chromosome. Here the option is given only Y chromosome. It is not at all correct. And B, the only one X chromosome. It is also not related with this. And C option is the both X and Y chromosomes. Here the both X and Y chromosomes are not present in the each of the sperm itself. If it is present, that will be leads into genetical disorders of the child itself. That's why each of the sperm will be contains 22 autosomes either of the X or Y chromosome itself. That's why in this case the D option is related answer. So that's why I am opting the D option as the correct option for this. Now you go for the next question. The sperms produce an enzymatic chemical for dissolving the egg covering is called. So here you know that each of the sperm is simply composed and covered by plasma membrane. Not only that, here at the end of the anterior, so naturally each sperm is provided with the acrosome. Acrosome is a specialized structure which is pointed and very sharp to cut the vitelline membrane of the egg, to penetrate it and pierce the vitelline membrane to enter into the ovum for sake of fusion or for sake of fertilization. And after that, the acrosome will be contains proteases, phosphatases and hyaluronidase. Hyaluronidase is the name of the enzyme or name of the chemical substance which is permit the sperm to cut out the vitelline membrane to enter into the ovum for sake of fertilization itself. Now the options are given like this. A option, hyaluronic acid, which is helpful in the dissolving of vitelline membrane, and hyaluronidase is the name of the enzyme which can be enable the sperms to pierce the vitelline membrane to enter into the ovum. So that's the B option is correct. Hyaluronidase is the name of the enzyme which is present in the acrosome and permit the sperms to enter into the egg itself. And C is the diastase. It is also not connected, and D option is the endogamerase. And A, C, D are not related with this. Only the B option is the correct option for this. I have to select in the B option. Now you go for the other question. Which part of the sperm provides energy for its movement itself? Now you know that each of the sperm will be provided with the following parts: head part, neck, middle piece and tail part itself. Of course here the top of the head part will be contain the acrosome. The head is naturally contains just half of the upright number of the chromosomes and one of the allosome. And of course here the head part of the sperm is well connected to the middle piece that is connected with the neck itself. The middle piece is provided with the number of mitochondria. The mitochondria is the only site for the providing of energy for the movements of the sperm itself. The last part is called tail part. The tail part is naturally helpful in the mobility or also motility of the sperm itself. Now here A option is given tail. Tail is giving motility to the sperm. And whereas middle piece is the only part of the sperm which is providing the number of mitochondria, and the mitochondria is naturally powerhouse of the cell. Here also the middle piece when it is contain many number of the mitochondria which are the only source of providing the energy to the momentum of the sperm itself. That's why the B option is correct. And of course C, that is naturally have the applied number of the autosomes and one of the allosome. And after that D, the acrosome. Acrosome is located at the top part of the head part itself. So that's why among the A, B, C, D, the B option is correct for this. Now you go for the next question. Menstrual cycle is affected by. What are the hormones can be affect the menstrual cycle within the female itself? Now the question is asking that A option is given progesterone. The progesterone is one of the hormone which can be secreted by corpus luteum. The corpus luteum is nothing but remnant graphene follicles are united to form the corpus luteum. The corpus luteum can be look after the production of progesterone. The progesterone is always preparing the uterus to maintain the pregnancy itself. That's why the progesterone is not concerned with the menstrual cycle itself. And B, the LH only. Luteinizing hormone is always affect the ovulation. The rupture of the graphene follicle in order to release the secondary oocyte into the abdominal cavity of the female. And after that C option is the FSH hormone which can be affect the ovary to develop the ovarian follicles. And LH hormone, and naturally these two of the hormones are helpful to production of the secondary oocyte or menstrual cycle itself. And estrogen is the another hormone which is always helpful in the development of female secondary sexual characters itself. So that's why FSH plus LH and estrogen, these three of the hormones are collectively affect the menstrual cycle in the female itself. That's why the C option is correct option, whereas D is the estrogen only. Estrogen is always helpful in the production of the development of female secondary sexual characters. So that's why among A, B, C, D, the C option is correct for this question. And after that we go for the next question. Which of the following is primary sex organ? So here which of the organ is the primary female sex organ itself actually? A is the vagina. Vagina is the one part of the female reproductive system. And after that B option is the ovary. Ovary is the primary female sex organ. Because of without ovaries or one pair of the ovaries are confined to the female human being to produce the egg itself. If the ovaries are not present, there is no production of the eggs. If there is no production of the egg, the female could not become a mother itself. So that's why the ovary is the primary female sex organ itself. Now the B option is correct for this, whereas C is the uterus. Uterus is the one part of the female reproductive system. And after that D is the fallopian tube. The fallopian tubes are also one part of the female reproductive system. In case of A, B, C, D, A, C, D are the important parts of the female reproductive system. They are not considered the primary female sex organ, and only the ovary is the primary female sex organ. That's why the B option is correct for this. Now we go for the next question. In which of the following testes remain in abdomen and do not descend into scrotum itself? In majority of the males at the time of the birth, the testes are naturally descending to the scrotal sac. That is helpful in the preparation of the healthy sperms itself. Because of the scrotal sacs are always maintaining the lower temperature which is lower than the internal body temperature itself. Here the scrotum is always maintain the temperature in between 2.0 to 2.5 centigrade temperature. That is the suitable temperature for the testes to produce the sperms itself. That is the main function of the scrotum or scrotal sacs. For sake of that, the testes are naturally descended into the scrotal sacs at the time of the birth. But exceptionally, what I said, elephants and dolphins and in some of the prototherians, certainly the testes are confined to the abdominal cavity itself. So in which also the perfect sperms can be produced from the testis itself. Here the options are given like this: A elephant, what I said, B the rabbit, and C the human, and D the ox. The elephant is the only mammal in which the testes are confined to the abdominal cavity, which are not descended into the scrotal sac itself. And whereas B the rabbit, in which extra abdominal testes can be present, and human beings also extra abdominal testes are present. In ox also extra abdominal testes can be present. So among A, B, C, D, A option is correct for this. And the final question of today class is the phase of the menstrual cycle in humans that lasts for 7 to 8 days is. You know that the menstrual cycle of the female human being is naturally having the 4 of the stages itself. What are the 4 of the stages like this? One is the menstrual cycle or menstrual phase, which is lost in between 3 to 5 days itself. That means some of the female can have the 3 days and some of the female have the 5 days of the menstrual phase itself. In menstrual phase, the cells and blood capillaries of the endometrium of the uterus is ruptures to prepare the bad fluid itself. The reddish and waste fluid can be prepared within the uterus, and that will be flows out through the vagina part is called menstrual cycle itself. And after that, follicular phase. Follicular phase is the second phase, which will be completed within the 7 to 8 days itself. And after that, ovulatory phase. The ovulatory phase is one of the specific part and which can be lost in between 9th to 16th days, particularly in between 14th day of the menstrual cycle. There is a release of ovum itself. That will be called as the ovulatory phase. And after that, the 15th or 16th onwards till the 28 days, the luteal phase can be present. So naturally, among A, B, C, D, the A option is the correct option. In this case, the follicular phase is lost in between 7 to 8 days. 7 to 8 days of the menstrual cycle. So that I am opting A option as the correct option. And not only that, I am concluding today's class. Thank you to all.